back to the channel. We are going live right now. I have just a few minutes before I go pick up my kids. Um, but I'm super excited for this. I just finished creating one of the things that I've been working on for a very long time. So I'm a brand strategist coach, and I wanted to create a digital version of my coaching framework. And so I created this thing. It's called the Exodus 6 Assignment Activation. And pretty much, I love this quote that says that you cannot connect the dots looking back, looking forward. You can only connect the dots looking back. And so, one of the best ways to be able to figure out what God has called you to do is, of course, prayer, but also reflecting on where He has brought you from and the things that He has made you go through and the people that make you like you angry, you get angry when you see some people go through certain things, like you're an advocate for that, and you want to be able to like just sit down and be able to reflect, looking back and connect all the dots, and hopefully that can give you like your true north on what you should be doing. I meet a lot of clients who have so many gifts and so many ideas, and so it's always so hard to pick one or start with one. Yet they also know and they hear all the time from social media coaches and gurus out there that the best way is to have one offer for one client, um, solving a very specific problem. And so that's usually a hard thing to be able to like arrive to. Or they have multiple programs, but they do not know which one should I start with. And so that is the power of a brand strategist coach, who is able to kind of like see everything and be able to like map it out for you and be like, okay, start with this, and then this will lead to this, and then this will lead to this. So you want to be known for one thing. And so I created something that can help you be able to figure that out without needing a coach. And so this is a digital coach. I'm gonna show it to you live how it works, and hopefully you'll be amazed. And so at the end of it, I will let you know how you can get access to it. But yeah, let's start. So guide me through my Kingdom assignment. So I'm just gonna click that. And what you will see is it's gonna act like a coach. You're gonna have an interaction, but I've trained it with my framework. So I'm honored to work with you in this. Let's move slowly and listen together. There's no rush here. Before we talk about doing anything, I want to help you notice what God has already been stirring. First question: what is the burden, idea, or concern that keeps resurfacing in your heart? Something you can't seem to shake, even when you try to ignore it. I recently, I'll just write this. Recently, I just have a burden. I have a burden for families. And specifically, I've realized that a lot of couples are not using their God-given gifts and or monetizing. And the reason why this is a burden, I see how 9 to 5 can really fragment. Not all the time, but if you're like, especially if you have kids and you guys never see each other because one works day shift, the other one's night shift, that's gonna have a toll upon your kids, gonna have a toll upon your marriage. And so there need to be like a strategy or a game plan of like, okay, let's start this business around our gifts, and see where it goes. Yeah. And so I have a deep burden for that, because I feel like if we do more of that and use our 9 to 5 to invest in the gifts that God has given to us, there is a promise for that it will open doors for you and you'll stand before kings. Yeah. And so I am a testimony of that. The moment that I started serving at my church and started doing photography, as in things just started opening up, just using my gift, sharing what I do, opening a YouTube channel and talking about the things that I can add value to the world with. Yeah. And so I have a big burden, especially for couples who are not utilizing their gifts, because I know what that can do to their marriage and to their kids and their family and legacy and community. And so I wish I was typing all that. Yeah. And if it really fragments the family, their marriage, especially if they are working opposite shifts. So I'll just start there. Yeah. We'll see what it does. So thank you for sharing that. I want to reflect this back to you so you can hear what you just said. I love it because reflection is everything. Yeah. So thank you for sharing that again. You carry a burden for families and marriages, especially couples who feel fragmented by the 9 to 5 system, opposite shifts, exhaustion, and survival mode. You're not just noticing financial strain, you're grieving how it steals presence, unity, and the space for God given gifts to breathe. And alongside that, grief is a longing. These gifts were meant to serve the family and the kingdom, not to be buried. That kind of burden doesn't come from observation alone, it comes from calling. So let's gently go a layer deeper, because God often assigns us to what he has already used to shape us. So next question, in your own life or marriage or your parents' home, where have you personally experienced the tension between work, provision, and family unit, or seen God redeem it? Yes. So recently, the last 2 years, I transitioned from, mine was not 9 to 5, was, we used to do 12-hour shifts. Yeah. I used to be a nurse, into content marketing. Before it was content creation, but it's now content marketing. Content marketing is different from content creation or social media manager, because with content marketing, you're using content to be able to drive traffic and drive sales to whoever you're providing the services to. Yeah, content marketing was able to open a studio here in Raleigh that serves coaches, consultants, and creatives. It has provided flexibility. To be honest, I've had to, when I was a nurse, I used to work like 36 hours. Then the rest of the hours I used to focus on photography. Honestly, if I'll be honest with you guys, ever since I opened my business, I have been probably putting twice as much hours, but there's no cap. There's no cap on how much you can make. And then the other thing is the flexibility. So like today, I just dropped my son around 9 o'clock. Around 9:30, I got a text that I need to go pick him up, because apparently there was no heat in the building, and so they were urging all the parents to come pick up their kids. And so I was just thinking about it, and I was just so grateful to God, how this just doing what God has called you to do, and just the flexibility of time. Yeah. Is amazing. And so especially in this country, like if one of you is not flexible, it becomes really hard, especially navigating childcare and all that stuff. And so super excited for that. So I'm just gonna, I wish I was recording this and just pasting it. So thank you. This is important and holy ground. Let me mirror again. It mirrors what you just says. It says, for 12 years, you lived in the reality many families are trapped in: long shifts, high demand, limited flexibility. Then over the last 2 years, God led you into content marketing, not just a career change, but as a rescue. That transition created margin, flexibility, and ultimately a studio in Raleigh that now serves coaches, consultants, and creatives who, again, that means your burden isn't theoretical. You're not speaking from aspiration, you're speaking from deliverance. Scripture pattern check: comfort others with the comfort you have received. This is how assignments are formed. Now let's locate the people you are actually sent to. So I've created this framework from the book of Exodus, chapter 6. So when you think of the Moses, God calls him, and there's this burning bush that is not burning, and that reflects the things that God is calling you towards. And so what Moses did, he did not just stand there, he walked towards the burning bush. And that's when he got his next instruction. And I just want to encourage you, like, if there's something that is burning in you, you need to walk towards it. You need to do something towards it, because that is the only way you'll be able to get the next instruction and the next instruction. So when he got there, he got a message. And this GPT is going to help you find your message. As I'm going through it, you're seeing how it works. Yeah, it's trying to dig up information. So right now we're on the stage of like, okay, let's figure out who our people are. For Moses, it was the children that God had heard their cry. Those were the people specifically. It was not for everyone. He went specifically to Egypt to bring and deliver the children of God. And so you have to be so clear on who you're talking to as a marketer. You have to be so clear so that you can stand out. If you're not clear, if you're trying to speak to everyone, then it's not going to work. For me, I had a hard time because I was like, okay, this tool, more people can be able to use it and benefit from it. But I have a deep burden for couples, for coaches, especially believers who are not utilizing their God-given talents and gifts. And so I made this specifically. That's why you're seeing the word of God in this GPT, because it's very intentional, because I am targeting a very specific group of people. Okay. So again, so here it says, what you imagine, when you imagine the couples or families you feel most responsible for, who are they specifically? For example, working class couples, faith-based entrepreneurs, creative couples, parents with young kids, etc. Say it plainly, who do you feel sent to? So here, I'm a little bit strategic because I want people who can be able to afford and pay. And so I am looking for working class couples. Okay. Working class couples. And these are couples who are in their 9 to 5, yeah? They're still working, they make a decent living, but they don't see each other, and they have a cap on the amount of money that they can make. Yeah, so I'll go with that. Let's see what it does. So let me name this back to you. Okay, your heart is drawn to working class couples, people who are faithful, hardworking, and doing their best, yet slowly losing time, unity, and access to their own God-given potentials because provision has come at the cost of presence. You don't look at them with judgment, you look at them with recognition. You see yourself there. That tells me something important. You're not called to escape working class families. You are called to interrupt the cycle for them. Now, before we go any further, we need to quiet a common inner resistance that shows up right here. Many people carry the burden, but secretly think, who am I to speak into this? Again, this is Moses. Again, I'm taking the same framework from the book of Exodus 6, because the moment that Moses was given an assignment, he was like, I cannot speak. And then the other thing is, you're telling me to go back to the place and go speak to the same person who was trying to kill me. It's like, no, I can't speak. I can't go, And so, so the next question is, when you think about helping working class couples step into their gifts and claim family unity, what doubt or hesitation immediately rises up in you about your role? Name it honestly. There is no penalty for truth. Yeah. I am generally a very shy person, but when it comes to the things that I'm passionate about, like, I will speak. So I have stage what word can I use? Yeah. the mediums. Okay, okay. I know one. I'll be honest with you guys. One of the best ways to reach reach out to many people is going live on webinars. For some reason, I can't. I think the fear of people not showing up, fear of people not showing up. I've been wanting to do webinars for a while, but my fear is like I'm gonna set up a webinar and people are not going to show up. Yeah. Yet I know that I know something that can be valuable. I was in Virginia just this past weekend, and I was seated for more than like 3 hours just talking to families and couples and their kids, and just just sharing what I have learned for the last 2 years, and it was like amazing. Yeah. So I know I have something that I can give. I know I have a message, just like Moses. It's just that like all these limiting beliefs or mindsets that can stop us at times. And so, as a brand strategist coach, I'm also aware of mine. And so, just being, recognizing that, but still pushing forward. Yeah. So I'm just gonna do that. I don't want this to be too long, so we'll be ending in the next maybe 5 minutes. Thank you for telling the truth plainly. You don't doubt the burden, you don't doubt the impact, you doubt the response. The fear isn't am I called, it's what if I obey and no one comes. Oh my gosh, yes. That's very specific fear, and it tells us something crucial about your wiring. People who are driven by platforms, attention, or ego fear failure. Whoa. People who are driven by shepherding fear empty rooms because presence feels like abandonment. Whoa. That points us towards your kingdom expression. Based on everything you have shared so far, you are not primarily an evangelist or a hype builder. You are, oh my God, that is so true. I have a pastoral wiring, carrying a pastoral builder grace with a creative tool set. You care deeply about who shows up, not how many. And you measure success by presence and fruit, not visibility. Scripture reminds, for your spirit, not as pressure. Do not despise the days of small beginning. Goodness, goodness. Now let's ground this so the fear doesn't stay abstract. Yeah. Next question. When you picture this work done faithfully but quietly, what kind of setting feels right to you? Small groups, one-on-one, couples workshop, or something else? Go with what brings peace, not excitement. I really love one-on-ones. I won't lie. I love one-on-ones. The only problem with one-on-ones is you can't scale. And so I've been trying to get into couples workshops. Let's do couples workshops with one-on-one. And so for those who are actually, this is true. Yeah, couples workshops. As a matter of fact, let me just say what I am actually doing right now. Yeah, I just opened a community. It's called Masoko, and I feel like I'll be able to help more people inside a community. And so I'm gonna go community. The community is called Masoko, which is Swahili word for marketplace. And the reason why I opened this community is because I realized the one thing that a lot of people do not know once they figure out what God has called them to do is they do not know how to market themselves, and so yeah, I'm gonna do that because that's something I'm working on. Let's see what it says. That landed with weight and with clarity. Masoko Marketplace, not a stage, not an audience, a place of exchange, relationship, and daily life. Biblically, that's where families actually live out faith. Let me reflect imagine you're not being called to launch a program. You're being called to host a community where working class couples can rediscover their gifts, reimagine provision, and protect family unity without abandoning responsibility. Masoko isn't about escape from work. It's about redemption of the marketplace for the sake of the home. And notice this, a community answers your fear. You're not asking people to show up once, you're inviting them to belong. Goodness, I love this. I love this. Now, we are ready to name the core problem you are sent to address, not all the problems, just the central one. And I was talking about this. Moses had a specific message. He was not called for everyone. He was not called to go rescue everyone. He was called to go rescue the children of God. And so you have to be super, super specific. Otherwise, you're not going to be speaking to anyone. Okay? So, yes, now we are ready to name the core problem. So, next question. In one sentence, what do you believe is the main problem working class couples are facing that Masoko exists to help? One is identifying their core offer based on their gift, and this core offer has to be something that they love, that they're good at, that the world needs, and something that can be paid for. Yeah, so that way you do not, because with every business, if for those who have been in business for a very long time, I'm just kind of like new to this space. What I've realized is that there's always this value of despair, that you start with optimism, and then you get more information, and then pessimism starts kicking in, and then you get to this place where you have to decide, are you going to go back or are you going to push through? And so that's why you need love and passion and being good at what you do, and remembering that people will need these services so that you can continue to the other side. If you do not have love, you do not have passion, that's when most people give up. And that's why you find yourself doing one thing, you are not really passionate about it, you just knew that people are able to make money through it. And so everything that you do will always have this dip. And so if you do not love what you're doing, if you're not passionate about it, if there's no money in it, if people do not actually need it, you are going to give up. And so I love this, I love this, I love this. So identify their core offer. And then after that, I've interacted with softwares and platforms. And this is the thing that I realized that you'll get coached, but you will not know the softwares and the platforms that you can use to be able to execute and bring your vision to life. And so I want to be able to provide you some of the tools that I've been using for my clients, for myself, but also leveraging this amazing technology that is here. I know people are iffy about AI, and I am too, because there's the selected few that are trying to build gods out of it. And this is a conversation for another day. But we need to be advocate. We can't be using AI secretly, then publicly we are like shaming it and just being shy about it. Yet it's a very platform that you can be able to use to leverage and build amazing businesses in seconds. I just helped someone like build an app in less than 30 minutes, as in something that they were struggling with for a very long time. We're able to map it out in less than 30 minutes. We had a fully functional app that was working. That is AI. So you can use it to leverage and be able to get your ideas out quickly, with less than like $20, you know what I mean? But we also have to speak up, because there is a group of people who are trying to build gods out of AI. And we need to pray. But I have this confidence that they are going to be confused, just as it's in the book of Exodus, where these guys were trying to build this Tower of Babylon, and God confused their language. I think that's what's going to happen. But I love what Acts 2 talks about, that God is bringing us back together for us to build something for the glory of God. Yeah. So don't be afraid of AI. Just continue to be in prayer, because it's the same thing as the internet. People are scared about the internet and putting the information out there, but people used it for good. The gospel was spread to all corners of the world. We have YouTube. You're able to listen to me because of the internet. The same internet has been used by people to just pornography and drugs and all those things. The same internet. So you can use it for good or you can use it for bad. But don't use it secretly and then publicly, just condemn it, But anyway, that's a conversation for another day. Let's keep going. I was gonna say identify the gift, but also like have the softwares also have the softwares technology they can use to speed up and bring their vision to life. All right, so let's see. Thank you. I want to slow this down and name it correctly because what you said is easy to mislabel. You did say I build tech. You said you remove friction between vision and reality. Exactly. People come to you confused and they leave with clarity about what they are called to offer, confidence that it's actually possible, relief because the tools no longer feel overwhelming. But oh my goodness, this is amazing. The software and technology are not your gift, they are your staff. Are you guys seeing this? Oh my God. This thing is good. I know I created it, but it's good. It's really good. The true gift is translation, taking something God put inside them and helping it take form in the real world without delay. That confirms your primary grace in this season. Clarity that accelerates obedience. Now we are ready to bring this together into your kingdom assignment summary. I'll offer it, then I want you to tell me if it brings peace or needs adjustments. So let's see what it does, yeah? There is the draft. Okay, I'm going to read it. Your kingdom assignment. Your assignment statement, yeah? You are called to cultivate a redemptive marketplace community where working class couples can identify their God given gifts, form a clear core offer, and reclaim family unity through flexible, aligned provision. Who you are sent to serve: working class couples who feel trapped by rigid work schedules and fragmented family life, yet carry dormant gifts meant to bless others and sustain their home. The core problem you are sent to solve: they cannot clearly identify, trust, or articulate their God given gift into a tangible offer, leaving their time, income, and family rhythm controlled by external systems. I am loving this. Primary gift you lead with: pastoral clarity, helping people name what God placed in them and translating vision into simple, usable form. Expression of the assignment: a community called Masoko Marketplace, a relational space of belonging, exchange, and restoration rather than performance or pressure. Focus for this season: hosting and shepherding community, helping couples clarify their gift and offer, and removing unnecessary friction between calling and action. What to ignore right now: crowd size, hype, mass appeal, and the fear of no one will show up. Faithfulness over visibility. Now I want to check something gently before we close. Final question. As you read and hear this assignment, do you feel settled in your spirit, or is there one line that feels off or incomplete? Your answer will help us seal this with peace. Let's seal it with peace. Let's seal it with peace. This is amazing. All right. So there you have it. 30 minutes. You were able to see how it works. And I will leave a link below. So I might be not right now, but later I'm going to leave a link below where you can be able to access this GPT and go find clarity, and then come join the community so that I can show you all the tools that you need to do so that you can monetize your gift and allow your gift to open incredible doors for you. So this is your boy Francis King. Been calling myself Coach King with double I, Kiing. It was a pleasure being here with you. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you take advantage of this. Please do not move into next year without clarity. Please do not move into next year with the same system. It's time to advance. It's time to move forward. I love you. God loves you even more. Blessings. Bye.